like giving a voice to a character that has almost no physical expression. Has zero physical expression in his face.
Well, it means I have to concentrate on just kind of the flow of my voice. I've never had to be so intimate with my performance before, because it's all about just the slightest deviation from kind of a straight line of being a robot, and going away from that and coming back and just kind of leaning off the line a little bit, but then remaining on it.
And the timing has to be super specific, right? You guys do a lot of the voice work before the animation's rendered, is that correct?
All of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the timing, they are kind enough, the editors and the directors, to allow us to have our own timing and play off that and let the performance be natural. Because they could chop it up and put their own timing on it, but it's a very collaborative process, so we get to act as naturally as we can, and they respect that and preserve it.
Do they do several different versions just in case that the timing doesn't work out with the animation, or do they have you kind of come back in and do additional ADR? Or?
Things always change. The script is always changing all the way through the process, and certainly in the room we'll give several different takes and versions of every line so that they can pick and choose. But a lot of the time, it's dialogue. With me, some of my stuff seems to be kind of isolated because it's giving what seems to be pre-recorded advice. But a lot of it is timed out with, the way I worked was the director would be reading the other side of a scene, the other character I'd be interacting with, and we would find a rapport there. And then they marry that with, let's say, Ryan's performance, and they preserve the timing that we had in the room. So that's pretty special. That's something I don't know if I could do, but they're so good.
Well, and at what point did you come on board the project, and what attracted you to it? It's got to be a big challenge to be Baymax, and you pulled it off. But it's got to be a big sort of undertaking to wrap your head around how that works.
Yeah, there's a great potential to let down a great many thousands of people who are working very hard on making Baymax as good as he can be. So there's a little bit of pressure there. But I felt so welcomed from the beginning. I came on in March of 2013, which was fairly early in the process. I think I was one of the first voices cast. And right away, I just felt very much a part of the family, and they were very welcoming and, as I said, collaborative. And that's not always something you get in this industry, when they are open to your ideas and want to hear your thoughts on the way a character should go. And Don, Chris, and Roy were all very much that. They were just the greatest people to work with.
So the character did change a little bit from when you came on to what we see in sort of the final picture.
I think so, yeah. And the focus of the film, of any animated film, will shift during the process, and it's a 3-year process, 3 or 4 year. And so I think once we started recording and they were looking at different angles to take the story, they kind of settled on the hero and Baymax relationship as being part of the center of the film. And I don't think they had started out that way. So things altered in that way. And I did come back in several times to re-record scenes I'd already recorded to reflect this new dynamic.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks. All right.
Sorry,
Nice
so
to meet
short.
you. Thanks.
You too.